morning. So I've started my return travel to Washington. I actually started yesterday, did about 250 miles and ended up near San Bernardino. Now the plan for today is a little unclear. It's been about a week since Southern California got their heavy snowfall and the roads have started to open up, everything has started to clear out. Unfortunately, when I woke up this morning in the LA area, it was raining, so I checked the weather report up in the mountains, and as you can see, it is raining up here. I'm going to go to Wrightwood and see how the conditions are up there. I'm only a few miles out at this point. But more than likely, I won't be able to do any wintertime activities. So I'm just going to continue to push on. I think we'll probably make it to Lone Pine today unless something else pops up and, I see something that's interesting. So that's the plan for today.
Well, I drove all the way up to Inspiration Point. It's beyond Wrightwood and the High Mountain Ski Resort. The conditions up there were absolutely awful, and it actually started snowing just a few minutes before I arrived. So I ended up not doing any snowshoeing or winter activities. It would have been a great spot to do some snowshoeing though, and there's access to the Pacific Crest Trail up here. Okay, I've left the Angeles National Forest. I've driven about 30 to 40 miles right now. And I'm going to take a detour to Tehachapi, California. I've seen pictures and heard about this amazing piece of railroad infrastructure. I'll talk more about it in a moment, but for now, enjoy these views of the high desert. So this is the Tehachapi Loop, and basically it's a loop that causes the tracks to cross over itself. It was built in 1876, and because of how rugged it was, without this loop, the tracks would be too steep for trains to climb it. So basically what's going on here is that you can start to see the train right where this white triangle is. However, the tunnel is closer to where the black triangle is. And as you can see, the train is about to cross over the tunnel. The top set of tracks is about 77 feet above the tunnel. When a train is longer than 3,800 feet, the train basically crosses over itself. The front of the train is currently crossing over the tunnel, and the back of the train right now is still in the tunnel. There was a gentleman out here from the local railroad museum that did a lot of explaining about how the Tehachapi Loop works. After checking out the Tehachapi Loop, I did stop in the town of Tehachapi. It's a small town and it's very focused on the railroad. Okay, it's much later on in the day and I'm driving north on 395 towards Reno. I wanted to try to get some more miles in for the day, and I wasn't really sure where I was going to stop for the evening. A couple of spots that I had thought I'd be able to stop at didn't turn out, so that's a wrap for day 2. I'm driving back to Washington.
Good morning. So last night I pulled over at this gas station. It's basically in the middle of nowhere off US 395. So I think for the plan for today is to try to get to Reno. I know I said yesterday that I'd try to go to Death Valley, but it's anywhere from probably 3 to 6 hours of extra driving. And you know, I got a lot of driving to do to get back to Washington, so it's gonna have to be for another trip. So I got a little bit of cleanup to do, and then we'll get on the road.
On US 395 north for 58 miles.
Okay, I'm getting going now. I'm probably gonna drive maybe a little bit up the road until I see maybe like a park or, you know, maybe some public land. Pull over so I can stretch my legs. You know, I've been sitting around a lot, so there you go. Okay, I pulled off here at Fossil Falls. We're about 45 miles south of Lone Pine. They have a campground, a day use area, and then a short trail to the Fossil Falls. There used to be a river here. Of course, it's dried up now, so I'm gonna walk out to the falls, and then I might walk over to the campground just to check it out, but probably won't be here too long. All right, I'm at Fossil Falls. Trail is only about 2/10 of a mile. The sign said that there's an upper and lower falls, so I'm gonna walk around a bit and see if I can find the other one. I think that one that you just saw is the upper falls. This must be the lower falls. I'm sure during a heavy rain this area does flash flood. It does look like there might be some rock climbing activity here. I do see attachment points in the rock, but I'm going to walk a little bit further down.
There is a little bit of a service road down in the riverbed that kind of ends before the lower falls. I did walk around for a bit to see if I could get to it, but it would have required me to hike a bunch. While I was out at Fossil Falls, I did walk up this wash. It looked like there was some pretty interesting rock formations. This is the day use area here at Fossil Falls. Like I said, this was just going to be a short stop, mostly just to stretch my legs, but we'll get going towards Lone Pine now.
Okay, I'm up in the Alabama hills. It's just outside of Lone Pine. There's this rock formation up ahead, looks like a shark's fin, so I'm walking out to that. And then beyond that, in these mountains, is Mount Whitney. Of course, it's up in the clouds right now. It's California's tallest mountain. I think it's actually the tallest mountain in the lower 48. So I actually heard about this place from another van life channel on YouTube. Wanted to come out and check it out, the Alabama Hills area. It's got some really cool rock formations. I also came up here to have lunch and then walk around a bit, check out the campground that's here, and then we'll continue on.
This is an up-close shot of the shark's fin. Right in front of this first set of rocks there's a road, and many of the campsites are along this. This area is managed by the Bureau of Land Management, and this campground is becoming more and more restrictive. I continued to hike up this trail to take in the Sierra Nevadas some more and these rock formations in the Alabama Hills. In some ways, this cloud cover makes the Sierra Nevadas even more spectacular. On the way out of the Alabama Hills, I did stop at the campground registration area to read up on the restrictions about camping in the Alabama Hills. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. We'll continue heading back to Washington in the next video, where I'll be continuing north on 395 in the Sierra Nevadas. So I want to thank you for watching.